Hello everyone, hey love lovers. Today we're talking about the certain overlay in your chart, right? So we're talking about looking at your partner's certain and how it impacts your chart, right? I do have the Dragon Astro Yoga book on Amazon and in the stores near you. Check it out, it will help you. Thank you for buying, and I must keep saying thank you, and I must keep advertising the book because this is also my business, right? Oh, and another public announcement is that I don't these celebrities, or I don't make spiced up Synastry videos or entertaining videos about celebrity lives, and I become very objective and very serious when I do Synastry, only because celebrities are also my clients. I do have celebrities who are also my personal clients. So when it comes to these things, I tend to take my business quite seriously. I'm business orientated as well, so I do take my business seriously, and I do respect all of my clients, and I do respect you guys as well as my clients, because I'm sure you wouldn't want to hear me talk about your charts on a public platform, right? So I give respect, and I tend to be very serious when I do Synastry, even if it's about people that are not popular with the public at the time, right? For example, now Kanye West, everybody's talking about him, but when I did his Synastry, his analysis, I was very objective, very respectful, because in the back of my mind I know that some of the celebrities are my clients, and I will never talk about their charts, their celebrities that I have helped privately. Definitely I would never discuss their charts, I would never do their Synastry publicly, and as much as I would never do or discuss your personal charts on a public platform. So I do respect my clients, and it can be a bit dull because it's not entertaining like the rest of the people do on YouTube, but it is because I know who my clients are, and I know the business side of things. So let's get into the overlays of certain and how it will impact your charts. So an overlay of certain in the first house. So I'm just going to say like first house without necessarily clarifying that it's an overlay. But remember, we're talking about overlays, right? So certain in your first house, and it could also imply directly in the composite chart. So definitely in the composite chart, it will also apply, and in your personal charts as well, your natal charts. However, when it comes to the natal chart, it becomes a bit different compared to overlays. Yes, you will see some of the similarities, but I assure you 100% they are always different in certain ways, right? So for now, let's focus on the overlays. But if you find a similarity in your personal chart as well, it does apply. Definitely in the composite chart, it will apply, right? So certain in the first house will affect your third house, it will affect your seventh house, and it will affect your 10th house, right? So this person who's overlaying their certain in your ascendant, on your ascendant in your first house, they will cause your communication to be a bit serious. They will cause you even to have a serious demeanor towards your friends, and they might also limit you from seeing some of your friends. The communication will be a bit serious, will be a bit businessy. They will make you, they will push you towards achieving your goals. They will push you towards, being a person who's goal driven and who's working towards that. Definitely here, there could be marriage. Depending on the degrees, it could be soon or later, but as I already told you, that it depends on the degrees, because with the degrees we can see how long things take, right? And then in the 10th house, definitely going to have a serious image. Things will change around or shift around. And even in your profession, you could think about elevating your profession as well, because you are busy also increasing your competences due to this person that is coming and sitting and having their certain sit on your ascendant. Second house, well, here they're going to make you be serious about home life, the domestic life. You may find that now you're thinking about purchasing a home. And remember, when we talk about these things, always think about the signs, because with the signs, it's either you're losing home or you're purchasing a home. So always then the sign here, it will tell us if you're losing or you are purchasing a home. It will also affect, your sex life. Here there could be limitations in the sex life, although over time you could find that your sex, it becomes curable, but initially it will start very slow. And within your group settings as well, there could be limitation. However, with the Saturn in the second house, this person will make you have quality friends. When I talk about quality friends, I mean like people who bring something to you, people who bring a gain to you, not just people that you hang out with. No, this person is going to make you have quality friends, which is very good. And then Saturn in the third house will make you have like some strict rules or restructuring the area of children in your life. So here there would be a karmic duty that you need to serve through children, all right? And depending on the sign, you could also have difficulty in bearing children. And obviously we're talking about aspects as well. And this person could also make you move from where you are. So you could have to move to them, or you both move to another state, all right? So this is possible. Actually, it's not possible. This would happen. And then Saturn in the fourth house. For Saturn in the fourth house, this becomes a bit difficult if the sign is anemic. But if the sign is actually positive, here you become serious about your work. Now after you meet this person, you become serious about your own image, about how people view you, about how you carry yourself. And also you become big in your position in life, like even in the society. You become big. People will look at you and they respect you thanks to this Saturn in the fourth house. And even they could respect because now you get a promotion in your job or something like that. But again, remember, it depends on the sign, right? And Saturn in the fifth house, here Saturn in the fifth house could bring a stepchild to you. So this partner could be coming with a stepchild, or they could be coming with other children that become quite a burden to you, right? Or that you have to take care of, right? A responsibility. And money will increase for sure here, depending on the sign. Very important. And there would be marriage here would happen. It's not, I don't even doubt it, would happen. Or something that is like a marriage. It could be also fiancé, or you have the child that you have to do, but there will be a commitment. It's not a doubt. And you could also have popularity among your friends, where people come to you to ask for advice. They come to you to get a direction, because they see you now as a new person, a respectable person who has something to give, right? And Saturn in the sixth house here, the Saturn here is very good. This person is going to help you defeat competition and enemies around you. They are going to make you work hard. You're going to be a workaholic here. And if it's in an anemic sign, the work could come slow and you could lose jobs. It happens a lot if the anemic sign is placed here. So it depends on the sign, very important. And the sex life here could be a bit boring, but you would need to have it. Like there would be an obligation to have the sex life here, maybe because you have to have children or to keep things going, but it's not really an enjoyable sex, there's something icky about it. And you could also be moving to another state, another region, another province here, but you would want to make your business here. You would need to have your own business here. And again, depending on the sign, if the sign is good, everything is very good here. Even the sex life is nice and bonding. So yeah, depending on the sign, important. And with Saturn in the 7th house, right, overlays, and also applying to other aspects that are, concerning your chart or that are applicable, also composite chart. Here, it's going to make you have, the urge to finish your education if you are not done with it, or to pursue further education. You would also want to improve yourself and how you operate within the public, within the society, and how the public views you. If you had mannerisms or behavior that is not according to the society, you might start to clean your act up now. But of course, depending on the chart, because it could also make you go the opposite way. Here also, you're more domesticated. You focused on building a family, purchasing cars, or building like a house for a family. And as such, here you could be looking for stability within the domestic part, right? Sure. With an overlay of Saturn in the 8th house, here you all of a sudden, now after you with this partner, you may start to feel like there is an urgency towards your profession, right? But the urgency is that you're going to feel lazy to doing it, but something is going to force you to fix that area. And most of the time, this is when you would travel or be placed in a position whereby you have to move quite a lot for your job at this time, or maybe for serving the community altogether. There will definitely be a link to children, either to raise the children of your partner, or you raise your child together. And here the focus is also on building a family background together. So where you start to consider what you value in family. Do you value going to church? What are your values? Do you want to continue the traditions of your family, or you taking over the traditions of your spouse at this time? So these would be the topics: how much money you've got, how much money you can make together. This becomes also another important point here, and it becomes literally like the focus of the relationship. How much money can you leave the children? How much money are you able to have the children? All these things relating to finance, to values, to the value system become very important when there's this overlay of Saturn in the 8th house. And establishment of relationships with your in-laws. And at this time, you could also find that it is difficult to form your relationships with the in-laws, and then you have to put more time into doing that, right? Saturn overlaying in the 9th house. Yeah, like you could find out that there are some debts that you need to deal with here. Either you take on debts all of a sudden, or maybe there's some illness or sickness that comes up most often, and then you have to give attention to. And there could be some losses to friends, or maybe an obligation to keep contact with certain friends. But there would be a heavy duty towards friendships at this time, also regarding how much salary you gain, how much money you're earning from your work, or from how you operate in your business, if you have a business at this time. And most of you would also be required to, I'm saying most of you now, I'm saying this person would also be required to build partnerships, from the friendship circles, but partnerships that are, helping in towards, finances, or towards establishing, the status in the social sphere, because most of the time this is important. Certain like status, so really, like anything that will bring status and, that social standing, good social standing, becomes very important with this one. And you could find that now, if you want to travel to foreign places or states, it is quite difficult to do so, when this person places the certain here, because now the focus and even if you do, then when you arrive there, it will be difficult to go back to your space, right? Because now there is a karma regarding, the foreign travels or foreign things or foreign people. So that would come up a lot, and most of the time you could find that this commitment is based and focused on, somebody or is with somebody who is of a foreign nature, foreign tradition, background, something like that, right? So with an overlay of a Saturn in the 10th house, it becomes very good, regardless of the sign, because here this is the original house. It's like you yourself, if your house, is yours and it's got a different color that you don't like, it's still your house. You still find it comfortable. You still find familiarity in being in it. So it's the same with Saturn in the 10th house, regardless of the sign, it will still give quite good results. And it would make you, when your partner places this in your 10th house, it would make you want to have connections, with people who are isolated, communication with people who are far from you. If you are in business, you could start merchandising, in supplier, working as a supplier with isolated places such as jails, hospitals, or regions that are far from you. And you could also focus on obviously buying a home because of the 7th aspect. However, here your partner would be required. It would be like a requirement whereby they help you build a home. They helping you establish what needs to be done within the domestic sphere. And basically, this partner would just be focused on making the relationship good for you, comfortable for you, and at the same time, have the marriage itself give both of you a good standing in the society. It would be quite long lasting, rather, right? And it would bring good people around you for sure. Obviously, depending on the sign when it comes to the last part, but the first and the second part, regardless of the sign. Then for the last part, depending on the sign for sure. Saturn overlay in the 11th house would make a spouse find you a responsibility. Like they would feel like there's a responsibility towards serving you, towards being with you. Something is difficult, regarding being with you, or when they are with you, they find, some troubles, with how you act, how you behave. So this becomes difficult in that aspect because they see you like as an obligation to them, right? Like something that, that is heavy on their soul or heavy on them. And at the same time, their focus is going to be definitely on having kids. They want to have kids because they feel like a relationship is empty without children. So this part becomes critical for this partner when they're laying their Saturn on your 11th house. And finally, they definitely want to bring up wealth from the relationship with you. They need to see the money go up. They need to be able to know that there will be inheritance left by both of you for the children. So this becomes quite important for them, and most of the time they could find it like a job, like it's their calling, from this relationship, that they need to do that for sure. A certain overlay in the 12th house becomes quite taxing in terms of the spirituality, because you may feel like there's like a teacher or somebody who is making you tend to your spirituality quite a lot. So it's either by force or by circumstance. So it could be something now that all of a sudden you're expected to do. Maybe you are not going to church a lot, so all of a sudden now this person is asking you to trust God, to pray, and all of these things, right? And this person would also make you focus on your finances, because they will be talking about it. They'll be asking you how much money you've got, how much money are you making, all of these things. So now you feel this need, to have money, and not just money, but work towards having money. And because this becomes part of the conversation within the relationship. And they also want to make sure there's stability within the family and the family life here. So this becomes quite important and a matter of a topic. They're also asking you about work a lot, and they're gonna push you to find work if you're not finding work. And if you're not happy with your work, you might change work at this time when you're with this person who's overlaying their 10th. They're sitting in your 12th house. And I do see some sort of teachings that you might have to take or undertake. As I said, they become that voice around your spirituality. So here you could be consulting with different people, different professionals, whether from the spiritual point of view or from the coaching point of view, or you yourself, you become that coach here with this strength that you're receiving from your partner's Saturn in your 12th house. I'll chat to you soon. I'll be in touch. Ciao.